Thank you for staying up late with us. Carrie has the night off. We have a lot to get to in the next 30 minutes. A big news day around the valley, and we have the reporters to prove it. We topped 110 today. A strange drug bust out in the desert. A 4-year-old boy accidentally shooting and killing his father today. But we begin tonight with a change of heart that's going to be a big help for the wife of a fallen Phoenix police officer. It was 2.5 years ago when Sergeant Sean Drenth was found dead next to his squad car. Originally ruled a suicide, that essentially changed today. Jared Dillingham on this story for us tonight. And Jared, what happened?
Well, Fields, you have the Phoenix Police Department. They have labeled this case death unknown, unsolved case. You have the medical examiner's office. They labeled it a suicide. Well, for the first time today, an official body, the city's Pension Review Board, came forward and sided with Sergeant Sean Drenth's family in saying they do not believe this was a suicide. And this ruling, their decision, came as a big help to the family. 34-year-old Sergeant Sean Drenth seemed fine the day he died in a parking lot near the state capitol in October of 2010. His close friends and family members never believed he shot himself.
No, not for a nanosecond.
Drenth's mother, Diane, and widow Colleen spoke to us tonight. Colleen recalling her last phone call with her husband moments before he was shot.
We talked about what I did that day, and I had just gone to the grocery store. I was like, yeah, I'll make blah, blah, blah. And he started laughing about my domestic skills because I can't cook.
While the family remains convinced someone else killed Sean, the medical examiner's office labeled his death a suicide. And that prevented his widow from receiving full survivor benefits given to families of officers killed in the line of duty. Well, that changed today as the city's Pension Review Board awarded Colleen those benefits.
We knew that Sean didn't take his own life. And for the board to rule this way is some vindication that they see our point. And it's really the first time that we've had anybody in any official capacity agree with that.
They say the money does not matter, but the pension board's decision opens the door to what does matter to Drenth's family.
And this is kind of a first step in being able to now get his names put on the memorial walls, which we haven't been able to do.
That was the step one, to get them to make a ruling so then we can apply for the different memorials. So that is what we'll be starting on next week.
So after 2.5 years, today's decision came as a bit of a surprise to the Drenth family. They've gone through many delays waiting for this decision. In Fields, you could really see some relief in their faces with so much left unanswered in this case about Sean Drenth's death. You could see they got a bit of satisfaction in this ruling today. Back to you.
Understandably so. All right. Thank you so much, Jared. A proud American, Justin Stanfield Thomas, part of the Army Special Forces group, the Green Beret, and a proud father. Tonight, his family and friends mourning his death, shot accidentally by his 4-year-old son. Thomas was from Phoenix, but went to Prescott Valley to visit an old friend, and that's where his 4-year-old son found the gun, accidentally pulling the trigger. Natalie Brand in Prescott Valley tonight. Natalie, this is a sad story, hard one to get out of your mind.
Fields, it's heartbreaking, and it's been such an incredibly difficult day for everyone up here, from the detectives investigating this to friends of the man killed. I want to show you a picture of Justin Thomas. He was a military veteran who served in Iraq. He was a Green Beret, Army Special Forces. Police say Thomas was visiting his friend and former roommate at this Prescott Valley home, and we're told the visit was a surprise, unannounced, which may explain why a gun was left in the living room unsecured. And that's the gun that tragically ended up in his little boy's hands. We spoke to a neighbor who's friends with both men, Justin Thomas and the man who still lives here where this happened.
Keeps a loaded gun for protection. He used to be a military police officer, but apparently when Justin and his little boy showed up, within minutes the little boy found the gun, said, "Hey Daddy, what's this?" Boom, and it went off. He didn't really know what was going on. He was just a happy little boy.
Too young to understand what happened. Police said they spent the afternoon talking to him and also the friend of Justin who still lives here. Detectives just wrapped up their investigation at the scene, but they are calling this just a tragic accident. Fields.
All right. Thank you so much, Natalie. Sheriff Joe Arpaio saying his Maricopa County deputies are going to hold off on immigration crackdowns for a while. This announcement coming today after a federal judge ruled his agency used racial profiling, specifically targeting Latinos on its crime patrols or immigration roundups. Sheriff Arpaio says his deputies were trained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents. Adding any racial profiling was something learned from the feds. Well, this is the first break in the roundup since the sheriff started them 7 years ago. Then came this story tonight. Maricopa County deputies are searching the desert near Gila Bend looking for illegal immigrants. But this time they're trying to save them. The sheriff says 5 were rescued earlier today. And Stella, you spoke to the sheriff. What did he have to say?
Yeah, Will Fields, the sheriff said that earlier today they got several calls about illegal immigrants being stranded in the desert. MCSO dispatched their helicopters. They rescued 2 men. Border Patrol rescued 3 people, and all 5 are in Border Patrol custody. Now the search is on for 16 people. They believe a total of 21 people were out there. And not too long ago, an MCSO helicopter left this area for Gila Bend. The sheriff says they'll be looking for as long as they have to. Tonight, they'll be using night vision goggles. The sheriff says the person who called them said that they were abandoned by their guide. The sheriff says he is concerned about the possible 16 who are probably without food and water.
So this is nothing new. But the caveat is they're risking their lives crossing that desert. And there's many of them that die trying to come in here. Especially during this hot weather. I mean, common sense will tell you that you don't go into a desert with no water or food. How do you survive?
Now, in an interesting twist, the sheriff says the caller who called was so desperate and such dire need that this person said that he would lead police to 700 pounds of marijuana. The sheriff says they haven't found that marijuana yet, but they are not ruling anything out. Fields, in the meantime, though, the search is on for 16 people who are stranded near Gila Bend.
All right. Thank you, Stella.
It's gonna be a long, hot summer.
Don't do it.
Find another job.
Yeah, stay in school.
Oh, it's a little hot, but you know, staying under the misters, can't beat it.
Hot!
Oh man, it's hot out here, but you know, we got to do what we got to do for the kids.
It's hot. It's really hot.
Yeah. Too hot?
Yeah, it's too hot. Hot!
Hot. He's got it right. Did you enjoy the hottest day of the year so far? We did top 110 degrees, which triggered an excessive heat warning. But we're in Arizona. Most of us expected, at least to some extent. So no reason we can't go out and have a little fun on this. Jason Valentine learning what that's all about. He is at First Friday in downtown Phoenix tonight. Jason?
Well, Fields, there's plenty to see out here, which is good because I don't think anyone's out here. It's 10 o'clock. It's been dark now for a couple hours and still up around 105, and that's because the hotter it is during the day, the longer it stays hot overnight, and it doesn't cool down a whole lot either. The low for the night, the low for tonight doesn't even crack the 80s, which is about 5 degrees hotter than our average overnight low for this time of year. And what that means is if you're a night exerciser or you're out someplace having a drink or two, you're going to become dehydrated more quickly than you would on normal nights. So just keep that in mind. And Fields, as long as you have a bottle of water in your hand, you can have a nice sweaty evening.
It is a little bit sweaty out there tonight, isn't it? All right, thank you. Yeah, you staying cool there? Lots of antiperspirant. All right, thank you very much, Jason. If you're headed out and about this Friday night or over the weekend, Kim Quintero's got you covered. You've been tracking all this heat, and we're hoping to lose a few degrees off our highs.
Yeah, definitely. I think the coolest part of our days are going to be our nights and our early mornings. Let's take a look at that forecast overnight, hour by hour. By 11 p.m., 96 degrees. By 2 a.m., 87. And if you're an early riser, we're looking for a temperature of 82 degrees under sunny skies. High today at Sky Harbor, hottest day of the year, 111 degrees. We are going to drop those temperatures by just a few degrees heading into this weekend. I'll track them for you coming up.
Thank you, Kim. See you soon. Accused of killing her own daughter, a Valley woman claims the state is hurting her other children. That story is still ahead. Plus, the website that claims to be on your side when it comes to company reviews responds to a 3TV investigation. We're talking about Angie's List It's in tonight's 3 on Your Side. And we'll give you one